Hey everybody, I'm Marnie Blythe and I am here with the fabulous Jenny Wise. Hello, hello. Hope you guys are doing great. A big happy Tuesday to you. Jenny and I were just sitting and we were having a conversation and we're really excited about her upcoming information sessions that she's hosting all about battling stress. And how many of that are you, oh my God, I can't even talk. How many out there of you are battling stress? How many are battling anxiety? How many of you are ready to pull your hair out because you're dealing with being totally burned out? Well, here you have the answer to figuring out the magic recipe, and this is Jenny Wise. So, Jenny, let's first talk for a few minutes, and I want everybody to learn more about your background and all the work that you've done because you started off your career in software sales, right?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit and tell our audience a little bit about what that looked like for you.
So I started out about 15 years of software sales and being a high overachiever, very type A, very driven, recovering perfectionist,
Yes.
workaholic, which I can say that now in retrospect. But I've worked on over the past 7 years building skills around stress resilience and meditation and mindfulness and yoga psychology. So now I have these skills to not reach the point of burnout, which is the point that I reached in my career
Right.
of burnout.
Yes.
And kind of having more of an awareness of when I get into stress or fight or flight so that I can teach myself to stay grounded before I reach that point of burnout, or I reach, for some of us, that point of anxiety or just pure overwhelmment.
Absolutely. So if I remember correctly, you have quite a background now and you've received a ton of certifications so that you are able to help people. And you've been working with people now for several years. Tell everybody what your certification and your background looks like in the work you've done. You guys, she's been out to California back and forth for 2 years. She's had a lot of certifications. So Jenny, tell them a little bit about what you've done.
So I've done a ton of training. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on what I call yoga college, with learning mindfulness, learning cognitive behavioral therapy, cognitive behavioral medicine, learning to change your thought patterns, which is really super important because your thought patterns affects everything, not only stress, but any habit that you're trying to change.
Sure.
And I got a master's degree in health science years ago, graduated with that, so I apply that as well, and done a lot of deep study in obviously mindfulness, meditation, and yoga psychology over the past 7 years. So I've learned to apply that, right, which is the most important, is that I've gone through this transformation. I've learned to apply that in my life. So it's really important when you're working with somebody as a mentor that that person has gone through that transformation themselves.
Sure.
And they've applied it in their life.
Absolutely.
And so now I'm just trying to share back what I've taught myself to try to teach other people those skills so that they don't run into burnout or overwhelmment or have to get into that place of kind of hitting rock bottom before they start to learn these skills.
That's fantastic. So you own WiseMind Yoga, which is right here in Cary, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You've been the owner now for three years.
Mm-hmm.
We have had hundreds of people come through for free seminars, and we are actually getting ready to host. You're going to be hosting a 4-week series. So let's tell everybody a little bit about that 4-week series, and then let's also tell them about the free information sessions that we're going to be doing so that they can kind of have a better understanding if this is something that makes sense for them. So let's talk first, I guess, about what that 4-week series is.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the 4-week series is meant to give you a foundations of mindfulness and meditation so that you can start to learn that as a basis for stress resilience.
Okay.
So meditation being a key to mindfulness and being a key foundation to stress resilience. And then in addition to that, we're going to learn about your authentic self, like trying to connect to that deeper part of yourself. That's part of the healing process. And then also kind of focused on how folks can learn skills to apply these things so that when they run into self-doubt, when they're having anxiety, when they're having fear, I'm going to teach clients the neuroscience and the cognitive behavioral medicine behind changing some of those patterns. So for many folks that are going to enter this, it might be around stress. It could be around that negative loop that we get into around I'm not good enough, or beating yourself up, or anxiety, which is linked to fear or doubt or self-doubt. So that kind of in a nutshell, there's going to be different pieces that will all connect together, but it's meant to be a foundation for folks to really learn these resilience skills with the underlying mindfulness and meditation and yoga. Of course, we will be doing yoga as well. That's going to lay that foundation, or what we call a training ground, so that they can lay this training ground of grounding, so that when these things come up out of their control, they can come from a place of centeredness.
Yeah, we talk about building an emergency toolkit to be able to then apply these things when life gets crazy and you get thrown for a loop. So we're going to have 2 free information sessions, yes? So the first one is going to be on September 22nd at 8 p.m.
Or August.
August, wow, yeah. I'm ready for the fall, y'all. August 22nd at 8 p.m. and then August 24th at 9 a.m.
Right.
And so people can sign up to do this info session by visiting wisemindyoganc.com. And the link is already in the Facebook message. And also, if you're getting this in some other way, shape, or form, it's wisemindyoganc.com. Free info session. And Jenny, what can they win if they sign up?
Well, if you sign up, we actually are offering a raffle for a free, what we call a Be Present or I Am Enough yoga mat, which is actually valued at over $100. So the first info session will be actually in just a few days, Thursday night, August the 22nd, 8 p.m. And then the next one will be Saturday morning, the 24th at 9 a.m.
Perfect. Okay, so to wrap this up in a neat bow, so, and then the actual 4-week series begins on September 12th, correct?
Yes,
okay.
September 12th. It'll be on Thursday nights starting at 7:15. So it's a 75-minute group that will run on a weekly basis for 4 weeks. And it's also important to mention that it will be taped online. So for example, if you have to miss one of those, if you end up having to go on a business trip or you have a pre-planned trip, they'll be recorded. So you're not going to miss anything.
Awesome. And then people who do end up signing up for the 4-week series also get a complimentary session with you.
Yes, they get a free yoga psychology session with me, which normally would be $150 if they paid for that themselves.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if you are feeling stressed out, burned out, if you need more skills, if you are ready to make a change in your life, this could really be for you. And the best way for you to figure that out would be to get on this info session. You can ask questions, and Jenny we'll talk to you about the whole thing on those 2 free Zoom sessions. Again, it's wisemindyoganc.com to register for those sessions. And the beauty of that also is that you can register to potentially win a fabulous yoga mat. So we're really excited about everything that's coming up. Any final words that you want to share with anybody, Jenny?
Just a big shout out of gratitude for every person that has shown up so far for the groups and for the seminars and for the private sessions that we do, and just an overall gratitude and giving yourself a pat on the back for actually showing up. So that is the first step, is for you actually to show up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if you are looking for more information about how incredible Jenny is, I'd suggest going to her Facebook page, WiseMind Yoga Meditation and Mindfulness Center, and looking at the reviews. See what actual people have to say about the experience of working with her and how you can really change your life. So thanks for tuning in today, and thanks for your time, Jenny. And we're excited to see you guys on the Zoom call. Have a great day.
Namaste.
Namaste.